Hello everyone, welcome back to the channel. Today we are going to be doing a Lathril Blade of the Elves video. Now this isn't going to be a full deck breakdown. This is simply just going to be a breakdown of Lathril and maybe some good elves as well as some good cards with synergy that you can use for your Lathril deck. So let's go over Lathril really quick before we get to these cards. She is a 4-drop Golgari, which is green and black. She is a 2/3 legendary creature, Elf Noble. So that's what we're going to focus on here and what cards we can benefit. Our first runner-up is Virulent Emissary. It's a 1/1 elf with Death Touch, and whenever another creature you control enters, you gain 1 life. So let's say you hit them with Lathril, you then create 3 tokens, and you gain 3 life for creating those tokens. Really just a good benefit card every time you're able to make those tokens. Next, we have Nadier's Nightblade. It is a 1/3, and whenever a token you control leaves the battlefield, each opponent loses 1 life and you gain 1 life. So now when something enters the battlefield, you gain 1 life, and then when it leaves, they lose a life and you gain another one. So if you have cards that when it enters or when it dies, it does something, you're able to benefit off of just the sheer token making, the generation of tokens. Next, the last one out of these 3 that I wanted to share was Moldervine Reclamation. Whenever a creature you control dies, you gain 1 life and draw a card. And even though this is not a creature, it stays out. Now when something enters, you gain a life, and then when something dies, you gain 2 life, an opponent loses a life, and you draw a card. So just with these 3, I think base will help you out a lot with your token generation. I think the next card that I'm going to go ahead and show you is the most crucial for Lathril. Okay? This is called Fallen Ideal. When you play it for a 3-drop, black, you enchant Lathril. When you enchant her, she gets flying, and if you sacrifice a creature, then she gets +1/+2 until end of turn. When this is put into the graveyard and it's attached to her, it simply goes back to your hand. So let's say you were able to enchant her, give her flying, and that ability, and somebody decides to take it away. If they don't exile it, if they're just destroying it or they put it into the graveyard, then it comes right back into your hand. So this recurring enchantment is amazing when you're going up against flying decks, because flying and reach are really hard to get a hold of once they have a hold of you, if that makes sense. So the goated strategy with these 2 cards, though, is that you may sacrifice a creature. This does not say tap this, and it does not say pay. That is the pay. So let's say one turn, after a couple of turns, let's say turn 5 or 6, you have quite a few elves that are tokens in play. You can sacrifice each one of those, and that goes +2/+1, +2/+1, +2/+1, +2/+1, and you can essentially make her get as many +2/+1s as possible just by sacrificing a creature, as many as you want. So this, I think, is essential because it helps against not only flying, but it also helps against big power toughness as well. Just by sacrificing your small guys, you give her +2/+1. So I hope you guys can see how amazing that combination is and how you'll always be able to use it as long as it's played and put away. The next card that I would like to present is called Read the Bones. Now this card is recommended by a lot as a utility card. So it kind of just does everything that you would need it to, and you can pinpoint which spot in the game you need it for. So Read the Bones says, for a 3-drop, scry 2, then draw 2 cards. You lose 2 life. So if you're trying to get to something really quick, you're not only able to put stuff in the graveyard, you can draw 2 cards, but it'll cost you 2 life. So This is a really utility card, but it is really great for certain instances with Lathril. We're just going to move past this card pretty quickly. Okay, so the next 3 cards we're going to talk about are Manifold Key, Vitalize, and Copperhorn Scout. Okay, so when we look at these, let's look at the creature first. It's a 1/1. Whenever this attacks, untap each other creature you control. So let's say you were able to use Lathril's ability with 10 elves and she's the 11th. As soon as you use the ability, you attack with her and that untaps all the rest so that you can then do her ability twice. So that is the doubler, is being able to untap not just Lathril, but each other creature you control. Even though it's a 1/1, just being able to untap and deal 20 to each opponent and gain 20 life is way beyond a good strat. It's underrated. So just Copperhorn Scout and her, you can double her ability. Just the same amount of cost with no condition. This is an instant. You do all that with Lathril. Once you do it, you drop a 1-drop Vitalize. Bam, you untap everything. Even her if you wanted to. Even though you don't get a second phase or attack phase, that you see. So untapping all the creatures you control definitely helps your situation to be able to double Lathril's ability. Next, we have Manifold Key. Untap another target artifact, and target creature can't be blocked this turn. So let's say you have another artifact that allows you to do certain things, right? So let's say Explorer's Cache, for example. The last ability says move a 1/1 counter from this onto a target creature. Activate only as a sorcery. So only during your turn can you do this. So let's say you had both of these out. Move these, right? You want to move a counter onto something. You tap, pay 1, tap it, just to untap it to move another counter. It's as simple as that. So having specific untap cards, this is just the example, but having specific untap cards helps you out to be able to get not only their abilities twice, but her ability as well as, artifacts. Okay, the next card we have is called Elixir of Immortality. Let's say you attacked with everything, they wiped it out, you now no longer have any of your lords or anything like that on the board. It's all in the graveyard. With this, you pay 2, you tap it. Not only do you gain 5 life in case you lost life from that attack or defense, but you now get to shuffle this and everything in your graveyard back into your library. So that allows you to reset kind of your side of the match, if that makes sense. If you're out of options, you've run out, and you need new options, and you have this, you can just waste an attack and just put whatever spare chaotic damage in, and then just know that after using this, it'll go right back in your deck so you can replay it. So even though it's not in your hand, this can be a savior in order to reuse some of those cards that were mentioned. Last but not least, we have 2 different cards that I wanted to throw in this video to get some people's opinions, because this would truly be a wild play on a Lathril game. So, first we have Deathbloom Ritualist. This is a 3/5, and it's simple. You tap it, you get to add X of any one color, where X is the number of creature cards in your graveyard. So after we just established our Elixir of Immortality, you can put everything into your library from your graveyard, right? But now we're utilizing it, okay? Now we have everything in our graveyard. We tap this, we gain all of that mana. So now we have a stack of mana in our reservoir, right? Then we play Harness Infinity. You now get to exchange your hand and graveyard, and then exile this. So if you were to tap this, add all of the mana from your graveyard, I'll put an example, Boom. So this is your mana you just added. Now you play this and you exile it. And then you get to now use all of those cards in your graveyard using the mana from your graveyard. Does this make sense? I really hope it does, and I really want somebody to be able to explain this a little more to me, because I just feel like this would definitely put a damper in your board, if not flush it away, if you know. So if you guys can let me know, these are just a few of the cards that I personally prefer to make sure that I have with Lathril. This isn't, oh, elf based. This isn't, here's all the lords. I just wanted to show you guys that this is what I like to have specifically for this elf. Okay, guys, and lastly, these are all the cards that I wanted to explain or show to you today. We don't have very much good lighting, and we're still working on our video progress, but I hope the audio is coming out all right. I hope you guys got a good look at some of the things that I feel like are essential to having Lathril as your commander, okay? Don't forget about Fallen Ideal, and don't forget about Vitalize. Those are the two most important, okay? Please also make sure to follow, subscribe, and comment down below, because we can do a full deck breakdown of this deck. We do have cards like Hardened Scales, Parallel Lives, such like that, some secret layers. So I want you guys to comment down below what you think are some of the best cards to put in a Lathril deck. Thank you guys for watching. I appreciate all the support and the love, and I will see you guys in the next video.